Hi Candace and family, it's David again. Okay, in meditating more upon the laws that govern Heartbeat City, you'll find that there's a difference in the laws that govern Heartbeat City versus the laws that govern my church. My church is governed by a certain set of laws, and Heartbeat City is governed by a completely different set of laws. And so when I speak of like Jacob's house, Joseph's house, Ammon's house, Elijah's house, Enoch's house, the Messiah's house, or David's house, or any of the different houses within Israel, like Benjamin's house, you might, traditionally, if you take like a traditional or like a orthodox type of interpretation of scripture, you might, in your mind's eye or with the eye of faith, you might envision one thing, and what I envision may be a completely different thing. And so when I envision those different houses, and when I draw up my maps, I draw them based upon my eye of faith, or my mantle, which God's given me to develop Heartbeat City. And so each of the different houses within Heartbeat City carries with it its own little mantle. And so you just want to stay with Joshua's law, which is that you want to stay in the scriptures, and you don't want to turn from the right hand or to the left. You just want to keep yourself meditating in God's laws every single day of your life throughout all eternity, and teach your children to do the same. And as we do those things, our imaginations are inspired by God in the ways that Heartbeat City needs to go forward. And so the way that Heartbeat City needs to go forward is in those ways, within the laws and parameters which God has given us. And since we function based upon laws, the way that God gives us revelation and inspiration for Heartbeat City is based upon meditating on His different laws. And some of the laws, again, like I said earlier, can only be discerned and understood spiritually, and can only be learned and discerned by faith. And so one of the fun things I like to do when I think of Heartbeat City is I like to look at some of Disney's law, like Disney's law that governs their Pirates of the Caribbean, and I like to think to myself, well, I wonder if I was to put that in Heartbeat City law, and I was to define the pirates within Heartbeat City, what laws would govern our pirates, and what laws would govern our killers, and which laws would govern all the different elements of Heartbeat City. And I like to envision, with my eye of faith, I like to envision what the characters will look like. Will they be good looking characters? Will they be ugly, nasty, terrifying, horrible villains? Will they be, heroes? What kind of heroes will they be? Will they be pure? Will they be clean? Will they be proper? Will they be righteous? Will they be, will they be worthy? And so you think of all the different character traits that you'd want to have in a hero, and you find the character traits that you'd want to have in your heroes by studying the scriptures. So we learn about Daniel, and we learn about all the things he did, and we realize, hey, you know what? Like, our heroes ought to have some of these character traits like Daniel or Nephi. And then you begin to meditate more upon the laws of those men, that govern their lives and the things that they went through. And then you just ask questions, and by asking questions, we receive more revelation and inspiration on those particular laws. And then we say, well, how should Nephi be dressed, or how should Daniel be dressed if he were amongst our pirates? If we were to put him in a world of imagination, what might he look like? And then the infinite combinations that you can put together of the different worlds and different scenarios in which these heroes and heroines can be in is truly limitless. And so it's a lot of fun, but it just takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of meditation and so forth. And it takes years. So again, we probably won't start seeing some of these things for like 30 years. And when we do start seeing them, I'm going to be in 30 years, I'll be about 70 years old. So you just begin to realize that that's just kind of how it is. It just takes a long time, a lot of patience, a lot of practice, a lot of working things and reworking things, and then you realize when we're dead and gone, Heartbeat City will continue to grow and blossom and be improved and perfected. But for the time being, we want to set up the proper foundations of faith so that it goes forward and proceeds perfectly if possible. So that's all for now. All right, talk to you later, bye.